Hi. It is difficult to believe that we are already on session 8 of Grief and Hope. Sufficient grace. I saved one of the best concepts for last, so let's talk about God's sufficient grace. Grace, that unmerited favor, that wonderful gift that we absolutely don't deserve, is provided absolutely free because of the immense love of God. You can't earn it. You certainly can't buy it. And honestly, if you were a believer, it's hard to avoid. The only way to avoid it is to choose not to accept it. I can't imagine why anyone would do that. Now, sometimes I say if you are a believer, because there are some things or some gifts that believers receive from God simply because they believe in His Son. I want to make sure that you receive those gifts too. If you have made it all the way through this course and you are still not a believer, I want you to know that I am praying for you, and so is your leader. It's really a big deal because we want you to experience the blessings that come from accepting Christ. And we believe that true healing can only come through Him. But it is so much bigger than that. That hope we talked about in the last session, it's eternal. Now, some may ask, can you really absolutely know that you are going to heaven? The answer is yes, you really can. You can know without a doubt that you will spend eternity with God. If you're ready to make that decision, please look back at pages 34 through 35 or talk to your leader or a pastor today. Don't wait. None of us know what tomorrow brings. The following verses formulate the entire message my ministry is based on. It comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 12. And after describing a vision, Paul says, beginning in verse 5, I will boast about a man like that, but I will not boast about myself, except about my weaknesses. Even if I should choose to boast, I would not be a fool because I would be speaking the truth. But I refrain, so that no one will think more of me than is warranted by what I do or say, and because of these surpassingly great revelations. Therefore, in order to keep me from becoming conceited, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me, but He said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. You see, you don't have to be strong. In fact, God shows up in huge ways when we are at our weakest. You don't need to be all put together. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know everything. All you need is God. And the grace that He provides covers everything else. So quit making excuses about your pain, your loss, and your grief. Decide once and for all to unload that. Unload all of that grief. God will gladly take it and exchange it for hope. And hope is much easier to carry. I heard a quote from the doctor in the show This Is Us, and I thought it was just a beautiful thought. And he said, I think the trick is not trying to keep the joys and tragedies apart, but you kind of got to let them cozy up to one another. Let them coexist. And I think if you can do that, if you can manage to forge ahead with all of that joy and heartache mixed up together inside of you, never knowing which one's going to get the upper hand, life does have a way of shaking out to be more beautiful than tragic. We've reached the end of this course. If you are still struggling, don't beat yourself up about it. If you just can't give up the grief, then possibly you have more to process. But don't give up. Processing grief is just that. It's a process. You may need more help. You might want to repeat the course, attend a different group, or seek counseling. Do whatever you need to continue that forward progress. You will get there. But if, when you feel that you have traded your grief for hope, I want to welcome you to the Hope 333 Club. I explain the meaning of Hope 333 in Appendix A of the workbook. And if you have not yet joined the Grief and Hope support group on Facebook, I would like to encourage you to still join. Your insight into healing and moving forward may be just what someone else needs to hear. So be a part of that Hope 333 Club, and let's go and help encourage others. Back in session 2, I read from 2 Corinthians 1, 3-4. Praise be to the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of compassion and the God of comfort, who comforts us in all of our troubles, so that we can comfort those in any troubles with the comfort we ourselves receive from God. You might remember that I said that was what I wanted to do, comfort others with the comfort God gave me. I hope you received some comfort during these 8 sessions. If you have, would you be willing to share that same comfort with others who are hurting? If so, please consider leading your own Grief and Hope group. Contact me for information about how to start your own group. And I'd love to know how you are doing. Reach out to me through godsufficientgrace.com and let me know. I also welcome input about the course and ways that I can improve it. I truly believe God gave me this message of hope to share with you, so that is what I am doing. Reviews will help me get that message to more people, so if you could leave me a review, an honest review on Amazon, it will sure help. God bless you.